Okay, and welcome back. We're going to do one more video on simultaneous equations. So this one is going to be about simultaneous equations in context, okay? So I have this question just typed up on the screen here. On a certain day, there were 44,000 people in Croke Park. There were two ticket prices, €30 and €20. 1.2 million euro was taken in altogether. How many people bought each type of ticket? Okay, so this is simultaneous equations. You basically have to come up with your own equations from the information given in the text here, solve them, and then you need to find out how many people bought each type of tickets. That's what you're trying to find, okay? So we're going to go through it, we're going to make our equations, and we will, and we're just going to try and figure it out, okay? So there were two ticket prices, €30 and €20. So we're going to say anyone who bought a €30 ticket, okay, they are X, okay? So we'll say people, I'm actually going to go amount of people who bought 30 tickets. Okay, so I may as well just €30. Okay, so you can see that. That means guess what we're going to pick for our second variable, and it's going to be y. Okay, so you're always just generally going to use x and y. They're the easiest ones. I probably should use a different color, but oh well. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do these lines here, except for it's going to be the €20 ticket. So the amount of people who bought the €20 ticket is represented by y. Okay, so you're always going to have to pick two numbers and assign them the variables. So x and y are the numbers we're going to pick, or the amount of people who bought the tickets are the kind of numbers we're going to pick, and the variables we're going to assign them as x and y, okay? So the first thing we're going to say, since there were 44,000 people altogether, and there were only two amount of tickets, so I'm going to do this in yellow. Our first equation was that x plus y is equal to 44,000, okay? Because everyone who bought a ticket had to have either bought a €30 ticket or a €20 ticket, and everyone who bought a ticket was at the game, so basically they have to add up to 44,000. So that's equation number 1, okay? So now obviously we need a second equation with x and y in it so we can solve them. Because you need, if you have two unknowns, then you need two equations to solve those two unknowns, okay? The second piece of information we're going to look at then is this €1.2 million, okay? I'll change colour, I'll go blue. So €1.2 million was taken in, okay? So we'll say every person who bought a €30 ticket obviously gave in €30, and the amount of people, so this is the number of people, is x. So if you multiply x by 30, you're going to find the amount of money they got from the people who bought €30 tickets. So say there were 20 people who bought €30 tickets, obviously there's going to be much more. That means they would have made 20 by 30, which is €600 from the people who bought €30 tickets. Does that make sense? For x is the amount of people multiplied by the money each person gave equals the money taken in altogether. Okay, so the second equation we're going to write is going to be 30x, which is the 30 is the money, plus 20y is equal to 1.2 million. So million has 6 zeros. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so those are our two equations. Is that all good so far? So I'll go through one more time. So x is the amount of people who bought €30 tickets, y is the amount of people who bought €20 tickets, and since everyone who went to the game had to have bought a ticket, it has to be x plus y is equal to 44,000, because the amount of people is x and y. So the amount of money that was taken in has to be the amount of people times how much they paid for each ticket. So 30 by x, which will give us the amount of money taken in from the x amount of people, and then 20 by y is the amount of money taken in by y amount of people, and they both have to add up to 1.2 million because that's the amount of money that was taken in altogether. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and solve these equations. So again, I'm going to always solve y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by minus 20. So it's going to kill two birds with one stone, kind of. So you'll see now in a second. I'll keep it in yellow. Yeah. So we're going to have minus 20x. So sorry, just to separate those. Minus 20x minus 20y. And I probably should have done this beforehand. Extra 0 is going to be 8, 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, minus. Okay, so this is our number here, and then the bottom is going to stay the same. We're going to have 30x plus 20y is equal to 1.2 million. Okay, so now we're going to add the two of these together, and I'm going to do this in, what color have I used? I've done yellow, red. Let me scroll down. Okay, yeah, so this is going to give us 10x because it's 30x minus 20x is going to be 10x. This is going to go to 0 because it's plus 20y and minus 20y. This here is going to give us, let me do this, 340. Is that right? No, it's 320. Excuse me. It will be 320,000. Let me just check that one more time. Yeah, I think that's right. So 320,000. Yeah, 320,000. Okay. So now x, we're going to solve for x, is going to be equal to 320,000. It's going to be 32,000. Okay, and there is our answer. Sorry about that. X is equal to 32,000. So I'll just go through it one more time. So we solved the simultaneous equations. Okay, I kind of got a bit slow there to do those in my head. So we solved the simultaneous equations, and we got the 10x is equal to 320,000. So then if we solve it, that means x is equal to 32,000. So if we go back to our context, so they're just numbers, but that means the amount of people who bought the €30 ticket is 32,000 people. And that makes sense because 44,000 people bought tickets altogether, so we knew if it was a higher number than 44,000 we would have made a mistake somewhere, so that should be correct. And then that means we're going to have to sub this x is equal to 32,000 back into one of the original equations. We're going to pick the first one because it's going to be the easiest one, so I'll do that in yellow again. We're going to have x plus y is equal to 44,000, and that means that 32,000 plus y is equal to 44,000. That's going to give us that y, oh, there's no more scrolling down, I'm just going to do this in purple. Y is going to be equal to 44,000 minus 32,000, which is going to be 12,000 people. So they're the amount of people that bought the tickets for €20. And that's it there. So solving the equations themselves, the equations, isn't the most difficult part at all. The most difficult part is coming up with the equations yourself. So most of them are pretty similar. Normally they're quite similar to this question here. So look at this question, look at the questions in your book, do a few of them, and after a while you should get the knack of it, of coming up with the equations yourself, and solving them shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Okay, thank you for watching.